In Capital News tonight, Tanzania's ambassadors commend President Dr. John Magufuli on implementation of major development. Herds of elephants destroy crops in Namtumbo. And in sports, fans urged to turn up and support KMCFC in the return leg of the CAF Confederations Cup against Kigali. Good evening, this is Capital News at 9:30. My name is Vanessa Victor. Let's start off with the national news. Ambassadors representing Tanzania in different parts of the world have commended President Dr. John Magufuli on implementation of major development projects which are being constructed with taxes paid by Tanzanians. They gave the tribute after touring the construction of Nyerere project at River Rufiji, which will produce 2,115 megawatts of power. The construction project of the standard gauge railway, the Terminal 3 building at Julius Nyerere International Airport, the Ubungo interchange along the Morogoro and Samujoma Road, Dar es Salaam Port Expansion Project, Taifa Gas LNG Plant, and the new Salenda Bridge.
Government intends to bring development to its people. What we've witnessed is truly amazing. The three projects, Stigler Gorge Energy Project, SGR, and the move to the Dodoma project. For instance, if I was given the presidency and I ruled for, say, 40 years, I would not have been able to even think about embarking on projects of this magnitude. And nobody could foresee that it was possible to do such projects. But what we've witnessed is that this is possible in the fifth phase government, and Tanzanians should expect even greater development from work done by this government.
Mabalozi wote wanaowakilisha Tanzania nchi za nje ambao ni mabalozi 43 wakiwemo makaimu balozi na makonseli wakuu.
All ambassadors representing Tanzania abroad were in the country since August the 13th this year to attend the 39th SADC Heads of State meeting. During this year, they will be chairpersons of councils of SADC in countries they are representing Tanzania. When they arrived, they toured all the big projects in the country, such as Mwalimu Julius Kambarage Nyerere Refugee Project, SGR, Nyerere International Airport, Terminal 3, Ubungo Interchange, and the 8-lane road construction project, as well as the Salenda Bridge. This was to allow them to familiarize with projects going on, so when they leave, they can be able to tell others about it.
Lakini pia wameweza kwenda kutembelea ujenzi wa daraja la Salenda.
Herds of elephants have invaded farms and destroyed crops in Mgobasi and Nambecha wards in Namtumbo District, Ruvuma Region. To address the problem, the District Commissioner of Namtumbo, Sophia Kizigo, has said that the government is continuing with procedures to remove the elephants and evaluate the destruction caused.
I would like to say that to date we have been disturbed by the problem of rampaging elephants for the last 3 to 4 months. I would also like to say that the elephants are fond of invading the farms of people and causing extensive damage. As they do this, the elephants gobble up banana trees, beans, and in general, they just damage all of the crops. I would like to note that what we are now trying to do is to provide village game scouts with various types of devices so that they can see how they can take part in activities designed to solve the problem.
au tembo wanaovamia katika maeneo yao.
Na mpaka sasa hivi tunafanya tathmini tujue.
I would like to say that until now, we are carrying out a thorough assessment of the extent of the damage caused by these elephants. It is our goal to clearly establish how large was the area affected by the damage, and we also want to find out what types of crops in particular were eaten up by these rampaging elephants.
And the Executive Director of the World Bank Africa Region, Anna Kabagambe, has said that Tanzania is among few countries in the world which have achieved expectations set by the bank on amount of funds allocated for the government budget to develop the education sector. She made those remarks after touring projects which receive World Bank support.
Very pleased to see the efforts that have thus far been done, and our expectation is that the World Bank, together with the government of Tanzania, will continue to prioritize the education and the advancement of our young girls and success for them to become productive members of our society. So I'm very happy that I'm able to come and see and visit your school.
In this financial year, we've set aside 900 million for renovation. I'm grateful that the World Bank has been financing us in other areas, such as on skills training, worth 120 million.
The seventh witness, Victoria Wihenge, an electoral officer in Kinondoni Municipal, in the incitement case facing 9 opposition Chadema party leaders, including the chairman, Freeman Mbowe, has read her responses from her cell phone when questioned and failed to identify some of the suspects present in the court. The witness told Kisutu Resident Magistrate Court in Dar es Salaam that on February 16th of 2018, 2 Chadema party leaders, Special Seat MP Susan Limo and Tarima Urban MP Esther Matiko, turned up at Kinondoni Municipal Director's office and requested oaths given by their election agents. Asked if she recognized any of these suspects, Victoria Wihenge declined, and she also said that she did not know charges facing the 9 Chadema party leaders, who were facing 13 charges, including holding illegal gatherings. And the natural habitat destroyed by human activities has started to regrow in Mkingu Nature Reserve after residents in some villages nearby were removed in an operation against illegal invaders. Residents involved in conserving the environment in the reserve have said there is need to improve infrastructure so that tourists can visit and enable them to generate income.
Tulipata ufadhili kutoka mfuko wa Taula Mashariki.
In 2012, we received sponsorship from Eastern Fund, where we began with removing crops in Mafuta village. It took us 1 month to complete this work. Later on, we moved to Digalama village, where it also took us 1 month to clean up the area and move to Ubili village. We are calling on the Eastern branch to also support us, who create passing ways in the forest, because our work contributes to conservation activities. This is a means of employment to us. We must also be considered in terms of payments. We have begun cooperating with the conservator in ensuring that the reserve is going back to its natural state. However, we're expecting that tourism activities will resume as soon after the reserve gains back to its normal glorious form.
The President of Zanzibar and Chairman of the Revolutionary Council, Dr. Ali Mohammed Shein, has started to meet and hold talks with executives from government ministries on their performance during the period of 3 months. Dr. Shein has started this procedure by meeting executives from the Ministry of Lands, Water and Energy at State House.
Hatuna tatizo sasa la kuplan pesa za budget.
We don't have any issues on planning for the budget. What seems to be the problem is how the money is spent. We have enough money because we've become better at revenue collection. This success is as a result of the work done by this ministry. We have daily meetings, and yesterday we started to hold board meetings for each department.
Tourists from Europe and Arab Emirates visiting the historical town of Mikindani in Mikindani Municipal Mtwara Region have urged the government to increase efforts in preserving historical sites. They made the comments after touring Pemba village, known as Among Areas. Explorer Dr. David Livingston spent a lot of his time in his work. To increase efforts and allocate sufficient funds for the conservation of natural resources such as wildlife, plant and endangered species, as they have a big contribution in the economy and development of the people. The advice was given during the 18th Cities Conference taking place in Geneva, Switzerland.
When Africa is participating in such kind of meetings, Africa should come with one voice, because we are the ones responsible in raising issues concerning our resources and not people from outside talking about our issues. If you look at the issue, wish to benefit from them and not otherwise. Following the ongoing meeting here in Geneva, we are here to make sure that our country's interests are protected, and all plans set here should focus on improving conservation activities for the benefit of our people. Tanzania is popularly known for conservation of forests and wildlife due to setting huge lands for reservations. This means that all decisions made in these meetings are important for the benefit of the nation.
That is all for national news. International news is next. And in international news, Somalia's southern state of Jubaland has re-elected Ahmed Madobe Mohammed Islam as its leader following a disputed poll. Ahmed defeated 3 other candidates in a vote cast by semi-autonomous regions lawmakers in the port city of Kismayu on Thursday. The former rebel leader won 56 of the 74 votes cast. Anab Mohammed Dahir, his closest challenger and the only female candidate, won 17 votes. The poll was delayed by 3 days, with regional electoral bodies saying it was to allow to register. And a day after Rwanda and Uganda signed a peace agreement, the Deputy Minister of Foreign and Regional Affairs, Ambassador Olivier Nduhungirehe, has said that what follows next is implementation of the agreement. President Paul Kagame of Rwanda and Yoweri Museveni of Uganda yesterday signed a pact in Angola aimed at ending months of tensions that saw the two neighbors accusing each other of espionage, political killings and attacks on trade.
Aya masezerano yashyizwe umukono hagati
The contract between Rwanda and Uganda that was signed in Luanda is a very important one in resolving conflict. The most important thing is to implement what is inside the contract. We are waiting to see if things will go back to what they were in the past so that citizens can visit each other.
The last public commemoration of the death of Kenya's first president, Mzee Jomo Kenyatta, was held today at the Holy Family Basilica in Nairobi. Speaking at the occasion, President Uhuru Kenyatta said the decision was reached after consultation with family members that they will each celebrate him in the manner they remember him.
As president, I have consulted Mzee in this manner.
You know, they talk, oh, dynasty. It's not about that. Leadership to serve, a desire to do good, a desire to make a difference.
The government in the Democratic Republic of Congo has launched a public sensitization campaign against Ebola, which has particularly affected North Kivu, where today the governor led an Ebola awareness march.
All people must know that we need to stick together to avoid Ebola. Ebola has killed many of our relatives in Beni, Butembo, Lubero, and even here in Goma. Thus, today we decided to talk together so as to insist upon people that Ebola is deadly. Virus does not choose, be it the police, army, or we as governors and all government officials. We must follow the procedures.
And that's where we leave off with international news, but do stay with us. We'll be back with business news after this break.
Watch Business Edition as we talk to business leaders and experts in sectors that are transforming Tanzania's economy.
To be rich, I have to be a business person.
It's not an easy road at all.
People need to understand. You must quickly think, how cost effective are you going to be?
Business acts as a way in which it can bridge that gap.
Business Edition will keep you informed on latest developments in the financial sector, extractive industry, tourism, agriculture, energy, construction, and so much more. Meet entrepreneurs who create employment opportunities. Watch Business Edition on Friday at 8:15 p.m.
Thank you for staying with us, and now we move on to business news. The Minister of Agriculture started an electronic system which will connect coffee farmers directly with the market and also enable them to sell according to world market prices.
We are having problems with markets at the moment, and the competition is significant. As a country, we believe that apart from being in these auctions that are currently being run, we want to move towards a global auction, which we believe will create good prices for coffee and transparency in the sector. Firstly, we need a good price. Secondly, we need transparency. And thirdly, we need to ensure we trust each other. A farmer should trust a broker when his or her coffee is being sold at auction. The price being received is the actual one.
The government, through the Ministry of Industry and Trade, has started the process to amend the Small and Medium Entrepreneurs Policy of 2003 in order to include new economic sectors and enable small and medium-scale businesses to grow.
au kwenye masuala ya kuanzisha.
When you come to business or to matters involving the start of economic activities, our ministry receives reports through this research on how we will facilitate the disabled youth and women to participate fully in entrepreneurship.
Alafu tukaonaje pia tukitaka kuwagusa
We also saw that if we want to connect with small-scale entrepreneurs, we should go to the wards and get the leaders to encourage and motivate entrepreneurs in their workplaces as government representatives.
Hiyo viasisha biashara kwenye sehemu ya kazi.
Female entrepreneurs in our Ruvuma district, Arusha region, have started to create packaging materials by using banana stem strips, which have been received positively by development stakeholders. The packaging materials are being produced to replace plastic bags, which have been banned in the country.
We have decided to start with these as they do not have a high sourcing cost. We have started to be hopeful because we already see when we create our product, it will have a market in the country and outside the country.
We want to help the women to get access to global markets.
And that's all for business news. Sports is next.
Away first time, good start from Bolt. Bolt leading a moment and going away. Gay trying to go with him, and he's being dragged through to second place, but he's going to win it by 2 meters. Away first time, good start from Bolt. Bolt leading a moment and going away. Gay trying to go with him, and he's being dragged through to second place, but he's going to win it by 2 meters. Opposition, Joaquinho, he did lose to Lent.
Welcome back, and in sports. KMC-FC chair Harry Misiga has called on Dar es Salaam residents to cheer for the club in the return leg of the CAF Confederations Cup against AS Kigali.
Na kesho tuna mechi ya marudio.
Tomorrow we have the return leg against AS Kigali. The game will be played at the National Stadium in Dar es Salaam. We called you here to inform Dar es Salaam residents and KMC fans that, as you know, last 2 weeks we had the first leg in Kigali and were held to a 0-0 draw. Now, tomorrow we have the second game, and by any means we must have good results.
The King of the Ring Boxing League has reached its finals, where Juma Choki of Ilala will fight Emmanuel Makiembe of Ubungo on September 15th, with the winner leaving with a cash prize of 1 million shillings and a motorcycle.
Two districts have reached the finals, which are the Ubungo and Ilala districts. The Ilala representative is Juma Ramadhan Choki. He's an underground boxer who is fighting well, and anyone watching will be entertained. He just didn't have the opportunity to be seen, and now he'll represent Ilala.
Daniel Sturridge has joined Trabzonspor after the former Liverpool and England striker served a short ban for breaching Football Association betting rules. Here's the story.
The 29-year-old was a free agent after his contract at Liverpool expired this summer and received offers
is accused of being a bully and declared he'll never respect
way through the Ghana's ranks before making his Premier League debut for the club in just his second league game against Liverpool. Nasri ruthlessly singled him out as the reason they lost the match. After the game, everybody came into the changing room and Arsene Wenger was quiet, he didn't talk, and then Nasri basically stood up in front of everybody reputation to his former team. Nasri told him that he could buy him.
Olympiacos looks set to reach the Champions League group stage after they beat Russian side Krasnodar 4-0. Here is the report.
Miguel Angel Guerrero opened the scoring while Lazar Randelovic netted twice and Daniel Prudence got the other to put the Greek side on the verge of progression after a year spent in the Europa League. Dynamo Zagreb are also right on track to make the first return to the group stage since 2016-2017 following their 2-0 first leg playoff win over Rosenborg. Bruno Petrovic put them ahead in the 8th minute from the penalty spot. Then 20 minutes later, Mislav Orvic doubled the lead. Bearing any capitulation in Norway next week, the Croatian side will return to the European elite competition after 2 seasons away.
And that sports item ends our news bulletin. I'm Vanessa Victor. Thank you for watching. Have a good night.
Shangweka! Ni wakati wa kutambulika sasa. Harusi, send-off, hafla za kidini, mahafali,
unani, waoka keki, wapishi, wapambaji, wapiga picha.
Pata fursa ya kutangaza kazi zako. Ni kila Jumamosi saa 3 kamili usiku katika kituo chako bora cha ITV Superbrand Afrika Mashariki.
Lete video ya sherehe yako iliyohaririwa kwa ubora wa picha na sauti inayoanzia dakika 5 kwa gharama ya shilingi 350,000. Kwa maelezo zaidi wasiliana na idara ya masoko.
This Saturday on Iron Chef.
Challenger Corby is offering 3 dishes. First, white asparagus fricassee. Second, cold green asparagus soup. Last is white asparagus with hollandaise sauce. Iron Chef Chen has a set of 3 as well. First, hot and spicy asparagus and squid. Second, Chinese asparagus soup. Last is stir-fried bacon and asparagus.
Don't miss this Saturday at 8 p.m. only on Capital Television.
I love Kiswahili, seriously. Kiswahili is like, the more unakuwa, the more unaona its value. Wakati tunakuwa tunaona Kiswahili kwamba lugha ambayo tunaongea kila siku nyumbani. But as time goes by, Kiswahili becomes very popular and has the biggest value ambayo we have never imagined about it before, as how the SADC meeting this week has actually initiated and has already approved for Kiswahili to be used among the other 3 international languages that are used in the meetings and are used around the regions of SADC. Now, when you speak about SADC, and Kiswahili. Kiswahili is going to be the first indigenous language to be used by the bloc. And it's very interesting because there's a lot of countries in the East Africa which are actually using